Okay. I'm not sure if anyone can hear me. If you're on Instagram and you can't hear me, then come over to YouTube and you will be able to see me clearer and you will be able to see the presentation. Uh, what we're going to be talking about tonight is the fourth industrial revolution has in the last video that I did where we were talking about the prime minister of Jamaica essentially flip-flopping on Jamaica advancing to a cashless society by way of this digital revolution. And he made a comment that Jamaicans don't even know what the fourth industrial revolution is. And so I thought that, I would take this opportunity to illustrate or explain to you what the fourth industrial revolution is. So, for my friends on Instagram, because I am using a third party to do the live, you will not be able to see everything based on how it is set up. Um, so, if you want to see the presentation in full, then you will have to hop over to my YouTube channel, Truth Media TV, and you will be able to see the slides and so that I am presenting. So I guess I just wanted to jump in, you know, and tell you what I am going to be talking about. So we'll be looking at the definition of the fourth industrial revolution. I will be explaining how automation and advanced technology can lead to job losses. I will highlight the importance of acquiring new skills to adapt to the changing job market. We will look at increased surveillance, cybersecurity risks, growing inequality, the ethical implications of this fourth industrial revolution, and finally we will look at the loss of um, human connections, right? Because as we move into the age of the fourth industrial revolution, we will find that there are a lot of things that changes, and as such we will have to change with those things. We will have to adapt, we will have to assimilate, or unfortunately we're going to get left behind. So since the prime minister had said that most Jamaicans don't even know what the fourth industrial revolution is, I thought that I would go and look up what the fourth industrial revolution is and bring that to your attention so that you may become now aware of what the fourth industrial revolution is, so that you, at the very least, can have an idea of what they're talking about when you hear them talking. So, the fourth industrial revolution refers to the ongoing transformation of our society and economy through the integration of advanced technologies such as robotics, artificial intelligence, and the Internet of Things. It involves the automation and digitization of various industries, leading to increased efficiency, innovation, and ways of doing things. I mean, that doesn't sound so bad, but what does this actually means? Well, it means that there is a major change that is currently taking place in our world today. It is all about using cutting edge technology to make things faster and better. You'll hear of things like ChatGPT that has essentially taken over right now in terms of performing uh, tasks that we normally would do, whether it is writing an article, writing a letter, writing a blog, writing a script for a video, writing a speech, doing research for a presentation. It, you know, Chat GPT in just one fell swoop has revolutionized the entire landscape of copywriting and research and journalism and all that. Now, um, this revolution is taking place as a direct result of the use of highly advanced technologies such as robotics and AI and the Internet of Things. Now, these things are not only making our lives simpler, but they're also assisting businesses in becoming more efficient in their operations. They are able to make things happen automatically, and they make use of computers and so on to store and process information. No, they will tell you that the idea behind the fourth industrial revolution is to improve our world, by making it more efficient, more open to new ideas, and, find more creative ways of utilizing these cutting edge technologies. But that is not all the fourth industrial revolution is about. So, let us get into some of the potential drawbacks. So, we're looking at job displacement, right? So, advanced technologies definitely will lead to job loss, and that has significant implications for a lot of people. So as automation and advanced technology continue to evolve, certain job roles will become obsolete, right? And many people will find themselves either unemployed or underemployed or unemployable. Sorry. So many of the jobs that people used to do will now be done by robots or smart computers. For example, if I need to write a letter, I don't need to. I don't need a copywriter to do it anymore. If I need to write a blog, I don't need a content writer to write it anymore. I can just go into Chat GPT, give it the topic, and it will spit out an article for me. So, this means that some jobs may not be needed anymore, and some people might lose their job. So, so because of this, so this is where the change in job market um, comes into play. So people will have to learn how to use these new tools. So you have to learn how to use Chat GPT and Mid Journey and DALI and all of these other AI tools that are now emerging. Otherwise, you are going to be left behind. So automation and advanced technology can make us lose our jobs, but they also push us to keep learning and getting better at what we do and open new doors to new opportunities. But there I guess the greatest risk, right? You're looking at like the elderly folk, people who, what are they, Gen Z or baby boom? I don't know. I don't. I keep mixing up the generations. I know I'm millennial, unfortunately. The one before us, they were Gen Z. My mother will not be able to assimilate into this fourth industrial revolution because people who are like in their 60s and 70s and so on, they're not going to get on board with this fourth industrial revolution because, they just, it's like they can't be bothered to learn the new technology and to because technology was never a part of their era. By the time we had the cell phone and stuff, they were like 60 years old. You know what I mean? So, or 50 going on 60 thereabout. So it's like I have lived my life and I will tolerate the technology, for but for them now to completely learn, I mean, imagine somebody at 70 learning coding. That's not gonna happen. So what are you going to do with these people? Because then what about most of the people? Because especially here in Jamaica, with the prime minister saying that we're moving towards this fourth industrial revolution, when you still have a majority of the population, you know, reading below average or can't read or not as intelligent as we would have loved. How are you then accelerating Jamaica towards this fourth industrial revolution? It does not make any sense whatsoever. You can't be advancing towards a fourth industrial revolution when you have an education deficit in the majority of people that is in your population? Or is it that you are planning to move on without them? You're planning to leave them behind. You're planning to leave them in the old world. And what does that mean in reality? In reality, it means that essentially these people are going to die because they're going to be useless. You're not going to have any use for them. They're not productive and they can't be productive because they're living outside of their time. You have catapulted us in this fourth industrial revolution where majority of the people do not fit. That is what the prime minister is proposing. And that is why it is important that we understand, you know, what this means for us. We have to understand what this means for us. And we have to, get on board with this new paradigm shift that is coming our way. So there are some other dangers of the fourth industrial revolution that we want to talk about. And the first one is increased surveillance. I was watching Partner Draw TV with Andre Stevens, I think on Friday morning, about 4 a.m. in the morning before I go to work. And I saw Andre Horton, or heard Andre Horton talking about, you know, increasing surveillance in Montego Bay in the context of the, you know, surge in crime and violence that has been happening in Montego Bay. And people don't understand it. You see, once you put these things into place, like it's almost impossible to get rid of them. And we cannot, you know, encroach upon the privacy of individuals because of criminals. We have to be proactive. You can't say, well, in order for me to protect you, I need to curtail your civil liberties. I need to curtail your freedom. You need to give up your this has always been how tyranny is introduced. And make no mistake, the level of crime and violence that we see happening in Jamaica, these are orchestrated events, because at the end of the day, how are you going to get people to give up their rights, their freedom, and their liberties? By creating an environment that they themselves will now say, boy, I want to be safe, so I am willing to give up my liberty in order to be safe. I am willing to give up my privacy in order to be safe. This is what the government, their solution has always been to infringe on the rights of the individual, to usurp the sovereignty of the individual in order to make the individual safe. And in the long run, we realize that it does not work. But although it doesn't work, your liberty and the freedoms that they have taken away from you are not given back. So, the fourth industrial revolution brings with it a significant increase in surveillance capabilities, which raises concerns regarding privacy and personal freedoms. The advancement of technology enables increased monitoring as well as the collection of more data. It is possible for information about what we do, where we go, and even what we say to be gathered by cameras, sensors, and even the devices that we carry with us. Alexa is always listening. Your phone is always listening. It's almost never off, because now you realize that they make the cell phones where you cannot remove the batteries. The last phone that I had, when I dismantled it, they glued the battery inside the phone. They glued it on, and they glued it in, and it was like barricade. Like, you can't, even if you open the phone, like, take off the back or whatever, you cannot take out the battery. And if you take out the battery, it essentially, like, the phone is essentially of no use to you anymore. And it's like, why are they making it so that you can't take the battery out of the phone? Because time gone by, if you take the battery out, there's no way for anything to be happening. But now you can't, the phone is not really turned off. It's sleeping. That's really what it is. It's really sleeping. So your phone can be listening to you without your knowledge or consent. And this extensive monitoring, raises significant concerns regarding potential invasions of privacy, as well as encroachment upon our personal liberties, even though they are telling us that is to improve safety. And because they're always going to tell us that this is to make you safer. Oh, there's so much crime, so if we have cameras everywhere, we can catch the criminals. Like, really? So it's, we have to be on, the double watch. We have to exercise caution, because The people that we are interacting with online may keep track of our personal information. I am 100% sure that all the websites that we go on, all these apps that we have on our phone, they are gathering our information and storing it for their use without our consent. Because they'll tell you when you go, you download TikTok, you agree to the terms. Obviously, you have to agree to the terms and conditions before you download the app. But almost in all of these apps, they are accessing your camera, they're accessing your contacts. It's like, why do you need to access any of these things? Like, why do you need access to my contacts? Why do you need access to my location? Why do you need, like, you don't need that for me to be using the app. But it's like, if you don't give them, like, if you turn off your location on your phone and you go on certain apps, the app won't work. You have to turn on the location, which does not make any sense. You understand? But why do they want? They want to have access to your data in real time, so they know where you are based on the cell sites or the whatever that the Wi-Fi connections. Because remember, each you have an IP address and it will pinpoint exactly where you are. And so they will know where you are and essentially what you're doing. Plus, your microphone is listening to you. Sometimes you'll say something and you'll see the the Google thing comes up as like, I didn't press you, so why are you telling me that, oh, if you want to go to KFC XYZ? It happens from time to time. You don't press anything. You don't do you press the Google talk, but it is talking back to you. So your phone is always listening, and this is surveillance, and this will get even worse once we are fully digital, where everything is online. So, we have to be very vigilant where that is concerned. The next point is in cyber security risk, right? And this is the most concerning, because it's one thing for your bank to have your information, for your government to have your information, for a app that you signed up for and use like Instagram or Facebook or Twitter to have your information. But it's another thing when hackers can now access that information. So, and remember, all these systems are interconnected, and with this interconnectedness of these systems, it simply means that there is a higher risk of them being breached by both cyber criminals and government agencies. Can make no mistake, these government agencies like the CIA and the FBI and DARPA and what have you, they are accessing people's information without their knowledge or consent. Because, I mean, if a company finds that the FBI hacked their system, what are they going to do? Sue the FBI? Come on. You know what I mean? So the strategies used by malicious actors who are looking to take advantage of the vulnerabilities in digital infrastructure are constantly evolving to keep up with the rapid pace of technological advancement. So the interconnectedness of different devices and networks create a web of potential targets that can be exploited by hackers to gain unauthorized access to sensitive information and cause it to be compromised. Now, this presents a significant threat to the confidentiality of our private information and data, as well as the essential infrastructure, such as power grids and communication networks. It is essential to implement stringent cybersecurity measures in order to combat these threats. We have no choice but to make the protection of sensitive data the top priority. So, it's one thing for the government to be saying, oh, we're going to accelerate Jamaica into becoming a digital society. It's one thing to be a digital society, but what are the the infrastructure that you're putting in place to protect people's data. Oh, we have needs and needs of everything, you know, of everything. But how secure is it? And what will you do? What are the mechanisms that you have in place should there be a breach and someone now accesses people information and is impersonating them? How will you be able? Is it innocent and is it guilty until proven innocent? What if someone gets a hold of my information? Because with the digital age now, there's no face-to-face interaction. It's not like now where you walk into the bank, they can see you, you show a picture ID, okay, fine, is John Brown standing in front of me. Everything will be online, and somebody in Timbuktu can access your information, commit a crime, and you know go you're going to have to be defending yourself because you're now guilty until proven innocent, because it's your information, it's your digital footprint, it's your account, it's your personal identification number, it's your everything that has been linked to this criminal activity, and now law enforcement is on you, breathing down your neck, and you have to provide an explanation for something that you have absolutely no all you because the only thing you're going to be like, I am innocent, I don't know what you're talking about. And obviously they're not going to believe you because that's what a criminal would say anyway. You understand? The innocent person would say they are innocent and the criminal would say they are innocent. So you are going to have to prove something that you didn't. Like, how am I going to exonerate myself? You understand? So this is, you know, like one of the major things that especially I am concerned about. And then, you know, what if you are one of those dissenting voices that the government does not like? They have access to all your information, so they can either fabricate evidence that you commit a crime, or they can lock off your bank account so you do not, you know, the go-to scenario that most people use when they are referencing the threat that, you know, central bank digital currency and this fourth industrial revolution and this digital society poses is like, okay, they can lock off your account and you won't be able to buy food. But it's like, that's not all they can do. That is just one of, and that's the simplest one that really don't have any, you know, maybe you can ask somebody else to buy you stuff until them uh opens your account, and you may live with someone, or you may be in a relationship, or you may have friends who can, you know, assist you until your account gets sorted out. But they can plant evidence. They can put you in a place where you once. We now see with Synthesia, your voice can be cloned, and they can put you at a location. So it's your image, it's your voice doing and saying stuff when you weren't there. This is the capability of artificial intelligence. We saw it on the news where they were saying that people got like a 30-second voice note of somebody's voice, and then we're calling their parents and scamming them saying, hey, I am stranded at XY place, I need $3,000, or I need money, or whatever, I forgot my bank card, can you send me some money? And it was the person's voice, but they use artificial intelligence to clone the person's voice and call their friends and loved ones and asking for money. So can you imagine if the government wants to tear you down or wants to discredit you, you're out here speaking the truth and standing up to the powers that be and speaking truth to power, and they want to discredit you. Your voice is on the internet. They don't even need to call you and get it. Everybody's on TikTok making videos, everybody's talking in this public space. All they need to do is write something and get AIs to say it in your voice and post it on the internet. And they can take your image. I am making a video now, this video of me. They can put it in AI with me sitting down saying whatever the hell they want to say, using the same background, same everything, same gesticulation, same everything. It's just that the words are not mine and I never made the video. And how am I then going to say that is not me when it's me sitting there, my voice, talking to people? Like this is what the fourth industrial revolution looks like. So how do you protect the public against that? How will the government protect me against someone cloning my image, cloning my voice, and posting a video of me doing or saying things when I never in fact did or said those things? What are the safeguards that they will be putting in place to ensure that we can know if this is artificial? Like, what are the safeguards that are they putting in place to be able to tell a deep fake, to say, okay, well, this is actually deep fake? Do we have the technology to discern that? Moreover, the damage would have already been done, because a lot of people are going to see that video and they're going to believe and they're going to hold you to be whatever it is that you were accused of. That's just the reality of the situation. Let's move on to the next one. Let me put this back in focus, and we will move on to growing inequality. Now, it's so funny that we live in a country where almost all the people who are in the employment sector are underpaid. And instead of the government ensuring that there's equity in the workplace as far as wages are concerned, you're pushing for a fourth industrial revolution, which is going to put a lot of people out of jobs. The jobs with them that they have are barely paying them anyway, and you're seeking to put them out of a job. How is Jamaica accelerating in 2023, given the economic environment that exists in Jamaica, given the social condition of the Jamaican people? How does accelerating Jamaica towards a digital economy help the Jamaican people? That is the question that the Prime Minister needs to ask, because what I see happening is that the inequality and the inequality that exists in the society today, the gap is going to get a lot wider. And remember, a lot of people still do not have access to internet, and it is very expensive to access the internet in Jamaica. Digicel is charging a arm and a leg for data. Flow is charging a arm and a leg. You understand? No, I think they're raising the price for the 7-day plan to almost $1,000. It is very expensive to use the internet in Jamaica. And a lot of people just, they put on a little plan for there and there and what have you. So you jump into this, like, to who is it benefiting really? Because there's a lot that we need to catch up. We're not a first world country, so why are we rushing into the fourth industrial revolution when we are not on par with the first world countries? We are not there. We're still a developing nation. So don't you think that we should become developed first before we jump into the fourth industrial revolution, so that the citizens, their economic situation would have been risen up to the level that they won't, because essentially all of us are going to get left behind in this fourth industrial revolution if you accelerate into the fourth industrial revolution. And is that your intention? Is it your intention to disenfranchise the Jamaican people? To starve us? Is that your intention? And who will replace us? Because if you're accelerating Jamaica towards a fourth industrial revolution, when basic infrastructure is not, people still don't have, most people don't have running water. Most people don't have modern conveniences in their home. Most people don't even have a decent home. And many Jamaicans, like, even though because I am working and I've been working since I was 17 years old, and I still cannot afford a house, and I have a decent job. And a decent job in Jamaica pays you under $2 million a year gross. And on that salary, you cannot afford a house. You can't afford the modern conveniences that you should have. So what are you? I don't understand. So, you know, we have to ensure that when we hear these people talking about we're moving toward, we're moving towards the fourth industrial revolution, that we don't get left behind. Because at the end of the day, our governments must be acting in our best interest. And while I understand that, it is important that we move with the times, and we you know essentially be prepared for the future. There's no point in preparing for the future if you're dead, or if the path that you're on, you're not going to make it. We need the infrastructure of the country in terms of the roads, the hospital, because we don't have any decent hospitals. We don't have any decent roads. The education system is lacking. You understand? And you are moving towards digitization. How are you moving towards? I hear you say the military. Like, why does the military need to move to have access to these technology? What are they? Are you planning to let loose the military and the Jamaican people? Because at the end of the day, we will not be welcoming this new Jamaica, and you're going to unleash the military and their technologies to kill us. Because I hear that the government of Jamaica has ordered over 1,000 drones. And there was information, I think back in 2021, that they bought these bushwhacker army vehicles um from Austria or something. And they have been unleashing I notice everything now. I see soldiers. Soldiers are not supposed to be operating in Jamaica, but everything, like if there's a situation, you see soldiers along with the police. Why is the army operating in the island? The army is for international threat. So is it that the government is planning to mobilize the army against the Jamaican people to kill us or to subjugate us? Because why does the army need to have these advanced technologies? Jamaican army is really for humanitarian effort. Who are we going to fight? We can't fight Russia, we can't fight Cuba, we can't fight the United States of America, we can't fight England, we can't fight anybody. So who are we fighting? Who are we planning to fight, if not our own people? I don't hear you say the education system, is going fully digital. I don't hear you say medical system is going fully digital. I don't hear you say the criminal justice system is getting an overhaul. I don't hear you talking about that, but you're talking about military and government. So essentially, the government will be spying on the people, and the military will be there to perhaps carry out black ops operations, and those who are pointing out the truth and resisting. Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Prime Minister? Because make no mistake, we are the children of our ancestors, and they resisted, and we don't have a choice. But it is in our blood. There's nothing that you can do to stop that. We're going to resist. And if you kill another one is going to rise up. So what are you intending for the Jamaican people? Because what we see is that the government is mobilizing again. That's the only thing that I see happening. The government is mobilizing against us. It is, you know, an unfortunate state of affairs, but such is life. I only hope that the people of Jamaica wake up before it is too late. So, another troubling reality, we're looking at the ethical implications of this fourth industrial revolution. And I mean, it's happening already. People are detached from each other. You know, people are detached from each other. And I don't know, it's sad, you know, because we're now using our phones. We are interacting with each other. I'm interacting with you through the phone. And even with our friends and loved ones, this is what the phone has replaced face-to-face interaction, right? And so what is happening now is that we are losing meaningful connections with each other. You'll find that even if somebody wants intimacy, they'll tell you to send nudes. Nobody wants to come over anymore and sit and talk and have intimacy. Send nudes, or you send a video of yourself, or you video. I don't know. I am so opposed to video. Like, if somebody mentioned video call, I get upset. Like, and it's just like an involuntary reaction. And I don't know if it's subconsciously I recognize that, because when you see me, if you're video calling me, then that that void that was there, that yearning to see me, will be satisfied artificially. So you will not have any desire to come and see me because you saw me on the phone. And that's why I don't do video calls. The only way you'll see me do a video call is if I have friends in other parts of the world, and I may ask them to buy something for me, and they may go to the store and say, okay, here is the shirt that you want, tell me if it, whatever. But I'm not sitting on no phone video calling anybody. I'm not doing that. You want to see me, you come to my house and we sit and we have a talk. And generally when someone comes to visit me, I turn this off. You have my undivided attention. But that's just me. You understand? So there's a risk that our reliance on technology will cause us to lose the connections that we have in the real world. So this illusion of connection can be created through the use of social media, messaging apps, and virtual reality. However, these types of interactions typically lack the depth and authenticity of face-to-face encounters. The ease of use provided by automation can also replace human interactions in a variety of settings, which further reduces the number of opportunities we have for authentic connections. This decreased ability to connect with other people can result in heightened feelings of loneliness, detachment, and social isolation. It has the potential to diminish our capacity for empathy and communication, as well as our capacity to understand and connect with others on a more profound level. In light of this fact, it is of utmost importance that we be aware of the significance of cultivating and maintaining genuine human connections. We have to make a concerted effort to strike a healthy balance between our reliance on technology and the requirements for face-to-face communication, active listening, and emotional investment. Right? So, you can't keep talking to people on the phone. Plan a time when you can meet up and have a conversation, go for a drink, take a walk on the beach, go see a movie together. You have to. I find that like all the talking happens on the phone. And it's one of the things I hate. I don't want you to talk to me on the phone. Come and see me. You understand? Because at the end of the day, what happens is that even though you find that you still feel lonely, you still feel isolated. And what happens too is that people lack empathy because you're not interacting with, even when you go on the road, everybody is in their phone. So even though you are among people, you are not among people because you're on the device and you're not paying attention to your surroundings. You're not interacting with anyone in your surroundings. And that is cause for concern because at the end of the day, when anything happens, it is our empathy, it is our ability to connect that is going to, determine the outcome of whatever decisions that we are going to make, especially where it is a delicate situation or where you may have to, you want to show a little leniency but because even now at work, everyone on my team works from home. So if you do something wrong, it's cut and dry. Because they're not interacting with you in person. When somebody is sitting next to you, it's very difficult for them to take a kind of draconian stance. But if I am at home, I've never met you, and you do something that may require a reprimand, it's cut and dry because you're not interacting, you have not formed any kind of connection with the person. This is the remote work. This is what it is doing. It's easy for you to lose your job or to find yourself in hot water because the people on your team, you have not met them. You're not interacting with them face to face on a daily basis. It's all over the phone and these just people's voices. That's the world that we're living in right now. So pretty soon, well, not pretty soon, human lives have no value. Our lives have no value because who is going to value our lives when we are not interacting with each other, when we are far removed from each other? We cannot exercise empathy because the connection and the interaction is mechanical. It is through a device. I am talking to you through a webcam on the internet. As opposed, if you're sitting in the room next to me, it would be a different interaction. Or I am talking to you on my cell phone. It's not the same thing as if I'm standing in a room full of 1,000 people. It's not the same thing. It's totally different because I am going to conduct myself in a different way. And you can feel the energy and read the room, and you're going to adjust your interaction according to the energy that you are receiving in that room. But I can sit here and run off at the mouth because there's no energy coming through the computer screen. You can't feel no energy because this is a mechanic. It is inorganic. It cannot transmit energy. You understand? So, it is one of those unfortunate things that the fourth industrial revolution brings upon us. It's just unfortunate. And I don't know. I just hope that everyone understands that we are moving into uncharted territory. and we cannot be ignorant. We have to educate ourselves. We have to get in the know. We have to ensure that we find out what is happening. What does this fourth industrial revolution means? What are the steps that our government is taking to advance us to that fourth industrial revolution? And what does that mean for our fundamental human rights? What does that mean for the privacy of the individual? What does that mean for the autonomy of the individual? What does that mean for your economic and your social situation? What does that mean for the legal implications? What does that mean for you? And what are the mechanisms that the government, are the safeguards that the government are putting in place when they pass these laws? We have to ensure that we understand what they mean. Are they usurping the Constitution? Are they infringing on our constitutional rights? Because at the end of the day, we recognize that the Constitution, it seems as if our rights and freedom are not inalienable. It's like the government can just pass a law to take away your rights, and that does not make any sense. If I have a fundamental right to life, you can't pass a law to take that away. Any law that you're passing have to be within the ambit of the Constitution. So it must abide by what the Constitution says. And we find that is that the Constitution does not mean anything, because, okay, you have freedom of movement, but the government can pass a law, say, oh, we have a state of emergency, you can't go about your business. That does not make any fucking sense. If my rights are fundamental, you cannot take them away from me. That's like you deciding that today I'm a boy and tomorrow I'm a girl. I'm a boy, you can't change that. You understand? I'm a man, I'm male, I have a penis. You can't change that. You can't pass a law to write that away. Nothing that you do is going to change that. So if I have a right to free speech, if I have a right to go about my business as I see fit, you cannot pass a law, regardless of what the circumstances are, to say, well, sir, you can't go about your business, or, oh, you cannot speak. No, I don't have a right to say defamatory or libelous things or make calamitous remarks about other people. You understand? Because that is infringing on their right. I don't have a right to infringe on your right. That I understand. But you cannot limit my rights and my freedom. There should be no circumstance where the government is limiting your rights, your freedoms, and your liberties. But we see time and time again where that is exactly what the government has done. And they manufacture scenarios to take away our rights, our freedoms, and our liberties. And with this fourth industrial revolution, it's going to be even worse. Because this is all about total surveillance and total control. People don't understand, when everything is on the internet, it simply means that you no longer have privacy. Right now, the government does not know how much money you have. No one knows, because if you have 10 accounts, it's with 10 different institutions. Then who is going to know how much money you have? Nobody, because each institution only knows how much you have in that bank. I have an account with NCB. NCB only knows how much money I have in there. I have an account with JMB. JMB only know how much money I have in there. I have an account somewhere else. They only know. I have an account over there. They only know. You understand? But with everything fully digital, your government, the only account that you're going to have is with the central bank, which is the Bank of Jamaica. So whether it's an investment account or whatever, it's all going to be central bank digital currency. And so if you have $10 million, the government will know that you have $10 million. And if you transfer, spend, however, whatever you're doing with your money, because right now the government does not know what you're doing with your money. You understand? The government does not know what you're doing with your money. But once it's CBDC, they will know that, okay, you went on Amazon and you bought X on XYZ date. They will know exactly what you buy. So if you buy a pencil, you buy a shaving cream, you buy whey protein, they will know. That is what the fourth industrial revolution means. And then now the surveillance part. They will have cameras everywhere. When you hear the government talking about Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi is not to help people. This government does not care about the Jamaican people at all. And by this government, I mean the opposition and the ruling party. They do not care about us. So the whole point of them having these Wi-Fi is so that they can surveil you. Because make no mistake, as long as your phone is on, it is trying to connect. This is what people don't understand. As long as your phone is on, it is trying to connect. And it will try to connect to the nearest cell tower. So it simply means that they will know where you are in real time at all times. So if they want to find you and do things to you, then they can. And with the national identification system, that is going to, because now that one ID, remember now, you can use your passport, you can use your driver's license, you can use your national ID as different forms of identification for various business activities. Now is going to be the one. Then again, you could ask somebody, to sign up for something on your behalf. So let's say I'm moving to a new apartment and I hold JPS on my old meter. I can ask my friend who don't have a meter to take out a meter in their name for the location. Right? But guess what's gonna happen? With NIDS and central bank digital currency, you can't do that. You will not be able to do that. There is no escape in this digital prison. They want to make the world a digital prison. And, it is important that we all understand what we are getting into, what this means for us, and prepare ourselves by making sure that the government, because I don't think that there's anything that we can do to stop the fourth industrial revolution. Well, not to stop the fourth industrial revolution, but in terms of the advancement of technology, I don't think that's something that we can stop. And I don't think that's something that we should want to stop. But what we should ensure is that, they are not taking away our rights in the process, because nobody knows what the prime minister is doing. We don't even know how much money he has. We don't know what his net worth is. But they want to know everything about us and what we are doing and where we are going and who we are seeing and what we are eating. They want to know every single detail about our lives, yet we know nothing about them. That can't work, and that does not make any sense. So we have to be vigilant, and we have to ensure that we keep ourselves informed. And, we essentially stay on the double watch and keep up with the times. We can't bury our heads in the sand anymore and pretend as if everything is okay, everything is hunky dory, because everything is not. And if we do not you know get active and proactive and ensure that we are aware of what is happening, then they are going to plunge us into this dystopian future where half of us are dead and the rest are their slaves to do with as they please. And this concludes my presentation on the fourth industrial revolution. I hope that you will have some knowledge now or some understanding of what the fourth industrial revolution is and what that means for the future, at least for the next 5 to 10 years. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.